How's it going, everybody? It's time for another great Mr. Poestyle video, and it's been quite a while since I've had a sit-down video. I know it's been a while because of work and illness and everything. And here we are, the end of my Thanksgiving break. I go back to work very early tomorrow morning. I have a lot of stuff that I've been wanting to get to. I'm finally getting around to putting the new GRS Ultimate Control Panel into my iiRcade. So, little story, as always, like I always have. 2015 is when I started collecting again for games seriously, and that all started because the company I work for and the union that I'm a part of, they butted heads at contract time. So we were locked out at contract time. I had time on my hands, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, I started thinking maybe I would build a multi-cade, an arcade cabinet for my home. Well, of course, I didn't have any money coming in that way from my job, so I didn't really have the money to build one. But it piqued my interest in it, so I started looking up videos. I really wasn't a guy that looked up YouTube videos for anything in particular at the time, but I'm watching videos about people building these multi-cades and stuff like that. And that kind of led into other videos about video games themselves. And then I start watching the Gaming Historian and things like the Game Chasers and Angry Video Game Nerd. You know, 2015, these guys were all new to me. I wasn't really looking into that stuff. You know, Classic Game Room and stuff like that. And so, once the contract was taken care of and I was back to work and had a little bit of money again, rather than go that route, I kind of forgot about building my own arcade and thought, you know, I already had my Nintendo from when I was a kid and my Atari 2600. I'd like to buy back the consoles that I had sold when I got older, that I should have never sold, like my Super Nintendo and my Genesis. I already had bought back a PlayStation when I sold it when I was in the Air Force, and then bought it again right away. And I would like to collect for all these systems again. And then as that went on, it was like 2016, I'm like, I'd like to have some of the systems that I didn't have as a kid. And so then all of a sudden I had two Intellivisions and a ColecoVision, and then I'm getting the Fairchild Channel F, and I'm getting you know, the Sega Master System. I had bought Genesis back again, but I needed the Sega CD, and I needed the 32X, and Saturn, and Dreamcast, and next thing you know, TurboGrafx, somebody was selling that one a couple miles from here, and I'm buying all these cartridges, and then I'm spending all this money on that, and then I'm starting to, oh, spending so much money on this, I'll buy EverDrives, and then my son's saying, Dad, you have so many games, and you're looking up stuff on games, and you know so much about games, and you're collecting this and that, and controllers, you should start a channel. And eventually I did do that as well, but I never did have a cabinet. And so then I start my channel, and I'm doing that, and at some point, start meeting other YouTubers that have channels like mine, you know, and make friends with them, and we're meeting in chats of other YouTubers we're friends with, and we're talking, and soon some of us make friends, and we're actually texting with each other. And the idea came about with somebody that maybe we'll do a weekly show or a monthly show with some of us that are good buddies, you know. And one of the ideas that was thrown out there at the time, a couple years ago, is maybe we could do something with the iiRcade. You know, they thought maybe we would do something like that. And they thought maybe we would get some kind of good pricing on it or something. And that kind of came and went. We didn't. Somebody else did an iiRcade channel. For me, it was still a little too pricey. I'm still, you know, I didn't know if I'd have the space, because once I started collecting consoles, my game room filled up quick. And I knew I didn't have room really for a full-size cabinet unless I put it out here in the studio garage thing. And I didn't really want to be that far away from family when I was gaming and stuff. I wanted it right in the house there. So I kind of put it off, but I started following, at that time, 2 years ago, the iiRcade groups on Facebook, the official group and everything. So I would still get notifications. I would still watch videos on YouTube of the iiRcade. Still slightly interested, this stuff is really cool, but I wasn't really willing to spend the money at that time. Doing enough home console collecting and new games, of course. I was always keeping up to date with the Switch and the PS4, and then eventually, the PS5. And, we ended up getting into VR with the Quest 2 with Off-Grid Arcade. And, and me and the guys, we ended up getting our own show for a little bit. And G. Parker and Off-Grid and Gaming Road Warrior and myself. And then that kind of went on hold for a little bit. And then here we are with our show now. But last summer, something came up from one of the iiRcade groups. And of course, Off-Grid already had his iiRcade for a couple years. And he would talk about it. And that was interesting and stuff. That was cool that he was doing that. And he had some one-up arcades. But I never really seriously thought about it. But then it came up with a sale in one of the iiRcade groups there in May, something like that this year. And that was a really good sales price on there. So I went ahead and took the bait. Said, you know what, I will get one. And then there's some games that you can play online through their servers. And I thought, well, that's kind of cool. I could do that. The show came back, consoles and coin-ups, and we just pretty much call it the show now. And I thought Off-Grid and myself could maybe play a few games like that, and that would be fun. So I bought the thing, and not long after I bought it, there were some pretty decent sales on games. Now, not every single game that you might want for the thing. There were some really cool classic arcade games. I love the idea that Dragon's Lair was there, and Burger Time, and Double Dragon, and stuff like that. And there were some other cool games. So they had a sale, started buying it up, and then the rumors of the bankruptcy started. And that kind of sucked, so where does that leave us? And we did kind of know, Glenn's Retro Show, that he was going to be making a deck. We didn't know a whole lot about that at the time. But it was like, this bankruptcy might be happening. Hurry up and buy as many games from the store as you can before the servers are down. So I did that. I bought a lot of games. And I was at the point where, okay, for the price that I paid for this machine, good quality build, and the games that I bought, I guess good enough. I'm not terribly upset with the money that I spent. I guess that's going to be it. This is my multicade in my game room. Good enough. But then suddenly, okay, it did shut down. Everything shut down. But we got a custom arcade and the mystery encoder chip, the board. So talk about being in the right place at the right time. Because I guess a lot of people didn't know about this, but they came out with the iiRcade modders page on Facebook, and these guys are talking about it, and we're coming out with this chip with this software. Get in on it now. And I don't remember the exact price, but it was cheap. So, and of course, talking with Off-Grid all the time, we're like, let's get this thing, let's do this, a way to sideload games, back up what you have already onto your laptop or your PC, put these games on, sideload them. We did it, And then they come out with this Discord to PAX R Us, and people were already building these packages, these zip files of games, where you can build your own with the main .221. And people were putting together and packaging these games that you could just push with this software on your laptop through this chip. And we're just adding tons of games. We're building our own. We're using the ones from the PAX R Us. Super sweet. GRS, Glenn's Retro Show, the ultimate control panel. He puts up pre-orders for this thing. This thing is sweet. It has spinners. It has a trackball. It has everything, right? And so he has pre-orders up for this thing. And now here it is. It is out. And we got in on that too. Bart, Off-Grid Arcade, and myself. And of course we talked about it often. And here it is, November, and it's out. And actually, I've had mine for a week. I just finally got to the install because I was very busy. Off-Grid got to his a week and a half ago. He has a video out, so check his video out on that as well. And I'm just going to go through and show you my install. Off-Grid already did it. Check out his video. And Glenn himself has a video out, the man who designed the thing. So definitely, if you haven't already, check out his video. Like I said, I'm a little late to this because I had a lot of work, sickness and stuff like that, and then just family stuff over this Thanksgiving weekend. But without further ado, here's me putting it together. If I can do it, you can do it. There's no soldering involved. Use a screwdriver, use your hands, look closely, and you'll be able to do it. And after the build, we'll have some final thoughts. So, without further ado, here we go. This is the GRS Ultimate control panel, and that's for your standard iArcade. And this is your gold. And just something to note here, for your gold, that's what this chip is that comes inside it. This is not for your standard. So if you see this inside and you're wondering, you have the standard, what in the heck is that chip? This is for the gold build. It's not going to be for the standard, so you're not going to need that. And yeah, the manual is beautiful, by the way, before you get started here, just so you see, when you get inside to the pictures, ta-da, color pictures inside for you, step by step. It's not very long. That's what she said. And see right there, that's the end of the standard install already, page 7, and you're getting into the gold where it starts. So just follow right along with the book. Watch my video, Off-Grid Glenn's, and there's probably several out there. From what Glenn said, he sold 666 of these things. So maybe some of you haven't installed yours yet. So take a look and check it out. Okay, just a quick look here. This is my Retromania iArcade. Before I get started here, here's my cabinet, obviously. And this is the original control deck that came on it. Bart likes to always talk about how he still has the plastic film on the one he got. Yeah, I never took them off of mine either, so this one here is a little wore off. Maybe fell off, but yeah, because that's the one you use the most, right? But yeah, the games I have on here. Ones that I bought, and then ones that I put on with the mystery encoder port. So, and most of them I put on here myself. Some of them I did buy right before iArcade went under, but most of these I put on myself. And just a really great little system to have, but like I said, all we have as input devices are our joysticks and our buttons. Until we put in our Glens, that will be it. Still some great games overall. Some of my favorites, and once we get that Viper board from Glenn, the sky's the limit, right? Crystal Castles, and Bart gave me, Off-Grid gave me a bunch of great games to put on here that I'll be able to use my trackball with. So that was on there as one of the ones that he sent to me. And Centipede, of course, and Crystal Castles is on here. So just looking forward to finally using a trackball on this bad boy. But just lots of great games here that I'm finally going to be able to use a 4-way gate for, the 4-way control instead of just the 8-way. So that's exciting too. Donkey ME, whatever, 4-way we'll be able to use for that. Great. Looking forward to it. But yeah, as you can see, just opened a whole new world just being a member of the iArcade modders group, the iArcade groups on Facebook, and finding out about the stuff at the right time when they were thinking this stuff up and coming out with it. And making it available for a limited time before this stuff all sold out. Just the right place at the right time. Jackal was an arcade favorite of mine and my brother's. And I was able to put that stuff on here. just very happy with it. And like I said, gonna be even happier once that Viper board from Glenn comes out. And Millipede will be another trackball game we'll be able to enjoy. Great, 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 great. Mr. Dew's Castle was one that I loved to play at the cabinet with my brothers at a local pub when we were kids. And Popeye, to be able to play that, hit the button for the four-way gate, is a dream come true. Satan's Hollow is on there. Love that game. Shoes is a horseshoe game that Off-Grid found. It's going to be using the trackball. And there's another horseshoes game on here that he sent me as well. And so that is awesome. And we'll see, you know. We'll give her a try. Tempest is going to use the brand new spinners that we put on here. So that's exciting. Things like Tutankhamun and just all these other games that we put on here. Cowboys and Moon Mesa, the games that I put on here. WrestleFest, WrestleMania. Things that you weren't going to have on your X-Men, Xenophobe, things that you weren't going to have on your iiRcade before. And now we do, thanks to Mystery Encoder, a custom, a custom arcade. And now Glenn's board, and soon the Viper board. The world of arcading and MAME has opened up to us now. Super Mario Brothers on there. And you want to start any one of these games, you just push the button and go. You got your coin buttons and you go, go, go. All these classics in one place. Now, as you can see, even without the trackball, let's go to Millipede. I can play it with the joystick. Millipede's there, and it does have. And see, these guys that are packing these on the PAX R Us, they're making these backgrounds and instruction sheets too to give you a pretty background. It could just be plain Jane, but they've made these and packed them in. So I can use the trackball controller, or I can use this in 8-way, the joystick and the fire button to play this game. So no need for the trackball, but of course you want to play it like you did in the arcade as a kid. Got a light shining here. I wanted to have enough light on the subject. Let's add your coin. Diddly diddly do. Coin one play. Coin coin. Credits, 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 credits. Yeah, I can control it anyway. I'm gonna do this with one hand. I'll be murdered instantly. Turn up the volume. Hey, it's playable. But you want that trackball experience. At least I do. Alright, so without further ado, wasted enough time doing all of that fun stuff. Marble Madness again. That's another one that Off-Grid sent me. So looking forward to this a lot. So let's get to it. Okay, here's what's in your box, and I'll have to do this part one-handed. This tripod I have isn't tall enough. Look, but you see, nice, safely packed and secured inside. There's our Dex control Glenn's control deck. There's where the joysticks go. There's our 4-way, 8-way gate. That is a split button. This button will control. We go to the Viper board, or back to our iiRcade games that are installed on the actual cabinet itself. This will add a coin, 2-player, 1-player, volume up, volume down, obviously. Our spinners, lovely trackball that will light up if you want it to, and what color you want it to. You'll do that with the switches on the underside. This is for your headphone. It's your headphone jack. So let's take it out of the plastic and get a closer look. Beautiful. Have our instruction manual and our bag full of goodies on the side. Spinners feeling good. Volcano buttons in place. Take us back to our main menu. Add a coin. Power. And again, as I said before, this machine doesn't totally power off. Right? It goes into like a standby. So these buttons stay lit. And the trackball stays lit the whole time. Now you can make it so that the trackball never lights up. You do that during the install. Or you can just totally unplug your machine or use a power strip and turn off the power to your machine. Otherwise, these are going to stay lit 24/7. So there's that. Or hook it up to one of those little outlets, like Alexa outlets. I have a couple of those sitting around where you can just tell Alexa, power off the iiRcade, however you want to do it. That's the front bomb. Front. And here's your back. The back side of your spinners. Sorry, hard for me to get in close here with good lighting. I don't have good lighting down here. So there's your powered gates. Absolutely wonderful, wonderful that we're going to be able to switch to play Popeye, right, and Donkey Kong. And this is going to attach to your motherboard of your iiRcade. That attaches everything nice and long, and that's what she said, and that's what we want to see. That's what we want. Inside here, we're going to have all our bits and pieces. I see a bat top right there and a ball top. Now, and there's the power cord. Going to plug into this unit. And the bat tops, off-grid, iiRcade did opt to try that out. I'm guessing he still has it on his. I'm going to go with the ball top. I got big beefy hands. I enjoy shooters and platformers the most. I always associate bat tops with fighters, so maybe I'm wrong. That's what I associate them with, and I'm not so much into fighters anymore like I was 30 years ago. So I'm going with the ball tops. Down here are your switches for your trackball. Depending on how you switch that, it's going to depend on what color it lights up or whether it's on or not. So I'm assuming that's all going to be in your handy dandy instruction manual. Alright, well, let's get this going and let's take that bad boy apart over there. Let's move the motherboard and let's get this baby installed. Baby, baby, baby. Okay, there are 4 screws on the back panel we're going to take out right here. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your power cable? And this is my HDMI out to my monitor or to my PC to record. So I'll just take those out now. Now that panel's off the back, they want us to disconnect everything from our motherboard that's in the back. You can see I already broke the original warranty seal when I was in here before putting my mystery encoder board in there. So they just want us to disconnect the monitor. Get our big beefy hands in here. Make sure you're unplugged first, by the way. I already did that, so already unplugged. Boom! Just like that. Well, we're good from that end. Now we're going to have to go around and take our deck out. Deck. I said deck. So there you have it. Cords are all unplugged. We can go around and take our deck out. D-E-C-K, deck. From here you can see we got a screw on each side. I already took mine out. One here. One here. Remove those. The panel's just going to pull out. Do you want to watch your plexiglass or tempered glass? It'll slide down. I'll set the camera down for this. I'll be right back. That way I can unplug the wire. I actually already did unplug all those wires. Forgetting. So I got to open this box first. Now I got to undo these 5 cams and take this box off to get to our motherboard. Okay, so let me do that. And we'll get right back to you again. There's actually 4 cams with that. Now I'm seeing something that might be a problem with mine. That thing is glued in place. I don't know if you can see that. And it looks like somebody actually cracked that when they were assembling it. So I'm going to have to see what I can do with that. That might actually be cracked. But what you want to do, there's my mystery encoder board. Going to have to unhook that USB-C from there. And then I'm going to slide the box to the back instead of taking it all the way out, like I saw somebody else do on the iiRcade modders page. But I need to see if that connector is ruined in there, and what they did with that. So I will be back. Okay, now I took that wire harness out. Hopefully everything's okay to connect the other one in. There was rubber cement all over that thing, so I don't know what they did in manufacturing. I'll show you what I did in the back. I'll grab a flashlight just in case. I slid that box to the back, plugged the monitor, HDMI out back in, and the power back into it. I just flipped the thing around like I saw in the picture on the modders page. The monitor is all plugged back into it. Kept the box intact, so didn't take any screws out. Didn't remount. Here it is in the back with the motherboard. So it fits all right behind that monitor. It's in the back. I'll have to reroute these wires once I put the back panel on. But that should be it. Now I just need to bring Glenn's control deck panel back into here. We plug into there. That's where you can see all that rubber cement. I need to clean that up. It's still all around there. It looks like it's all right, so we'll see if we snap right into place. I need to connect back up again to my mystery encoder, a custom arcade board just right there. That's how we sideload all of our games. That's how we did our backup. Wonderful device. And we connect that all up, and we have a power cord also that goes to our Glenn's deck that'll run out through the back here as well. And we'll put the deck in and put the screws in, and that's about it. And maybe we'll play some games. Alright, looking back at it here, so we can get some light on the subject. We put our USB enabler cable back in. That's just so we can push games again to our iiRcade if we need to, so it's back in there. Everything in the box is pushed to the back. Everything here is connected back to our motherboard, all the wires, and that's just our HDMI here. It's going to go back out either to another monitor or OBS on our laptop so that I can record. And yeah, I took the rubber cement off that was on that motherboard that they were using right there. Let's see if there's some there. I think, it doesn't look like anything's cracked, so I think that was just to kind of hold that old connector to the old joysticks in place so it didn't shake loose, I guess. We'll see. Now we're going to attempt to connect the Glenn's board in there. This might be a little tough. Connected it in place, but let's grab our board. That's going to be our next step. And then we're going to have to connect a cable that he included from here into his board as well. Now if we didn't do that, he has another cable. If we didn't have this, a custom arcade mystery encoder board, he has a little cable that clicks right into here, then goes into there. But since we have this, we have a USB on here, his included cable will go right into that USB port. Sorry, really tight fit back here, right here, and that's going to go to his board. So let me go grab his board and we'll get on with it. And just so you can see what I'm talking about, this is the little cable that is enclosed. If you don't have that USB enabler, the mystery encoder board, this will go in on that chip, the motherboard, and it has this USB female, and the other cable Glenn is included. This will go right into there, and then this will go into Glenn's deck on the other side. But since I do have that, I don't need this cable. Okay, we'll just set that aside. I don't need that. Instead, I'll use the other cable he's included, and I'll connect this to the custom arcade chip. Right over here. So this goes into there. Let me do that, and we'll connect this right into there. As long as we can reach here, we'll try to get that done here, and we'll be right back. Okay, and there you have it. It's wired in. We have it going into the board. The wires are all in the way. Over here to here. And there's the power cable that's included. Don't forget that. When it comes out, you're going to want it to go through the hole. Once you put your back panel on, luckily there's breakaway cables. So it has the plug on the end. It has this nice little breakaway, so you can go ahead and install it and then just break it away to feed it through the hole when you're ready to put the panel on. This connection looks like it went in. As you see, it really only goes one way. It's keyed. You can see that. I don't know if that light really helps or not. It's keyed. Hopefully it stays in place and that rubber cement isn't too much in the way. Looks like it's in there good. We'll find out when we test it. And that's it. Everything's in place, fairly sturdy. It's not screwed down, but the motherboard is in that original box. We just slid it to the back. So we got the panel on the front. All we need to do now, well, we need to put our plexiglass back on. Then we need to put the back panel on and the screws. I'll go ahead and put the back panel on. And the joysticks, which he's included a little wrench. We'll hand tighten them in. Let's go ahead and do that now. There we go, and I just did the ball tops. That's what I'm used to, that's what I like. He does include a red and black bat top if you're into the fighter games, or that just feels more comfortable to you. A little wrench, just put them in, hand tight. Don't forget your little dust covers here. But you just put the little wrench on down there. See where it'll grip on. Hard to do holding this thing here. But and give it another little twist. Make sure it's firmly on there. So now this is on. I'll put my plexiglass on. And then I'll put the back on and feed my wires through. Alright. For our wire management there. Got our iiRcade power cord coming out of the back. We got our power cord for our Glenn's deck coming out of the back. Our mystery encoder, a custom arcade USB cord coming out of the back there also. And then our HDMI out that will go to our laptop, for recording, or can go to a monitor for viewing, whatever. It's all coming right out of here. Nothing's bound up or anything. And now we can put our 4 screws back in. Okay, everybody, so now before we power or put the screws in, we power on. As you can see, I plugged everything back in. Trackball is lit, our gate buttons are lit. Now let's power on the iiRcade and make sure the buttons are working. Sorry about that. Coughing. Make sure everything's working here. If I press too long press, maybe everything isn't working. That's why we test. Normally I wouldn't have put that back panel on yet, but I've got a tight working space here, as you can see. So we're powering on. Got our magenta. That's right, I picked magenta. I think that's what I picked. Purple. Let's see how all of our buttons are doing here. Roll it up. There's our gate buttons. This will be our buttons to choose. Well, I already went through that. There's our coin button. It's like a coin in Mario Brothers. Everything's pretty much self-explanatory. Hopefully, player 2 joystick is choosing what it should. It's going up and down, left and right. Player 1 doing what it should. Go to all. And let's check a trackball game. Let's just do millipede real quick to see if the trackball is working. There's centipede. Pick that. Okay. We launched the game. I'm not sure how sensitive this trackball will be. We're going to add a coin. See if the coin button works. So coin, credits. Credits are adding. So the credit button is working. Got a zillion credits in there now. Player 1. That worked. Oh yeah. Yep. Trackball is working. One-handed. That's what we like to see. That's what we like to see, baby. Centipede the way it's meant to be played. So let's get the menu button, see if it works. Yes, it took us right out. Crystal Castles. Launch. And okay, it's going through its RAM check. Crystal Castles. Insert credits. 1 credit. 2 credit. 1 player game. There he goes. There's Bentley Bear, and he's dead. Oh no. Sorry, Bentley. So yeah, trackball seems to be working fine. I love it. I love it. This is the way to play Crystal Castles. Nice. Beautiful. Okay. Let's go back. Not pause. Let's go all the way out. And since we tried those, I think the only spinner game we got on here. Oof. Sorry about that. We'll get the roll Ghostbusters. Oh, really? That's good. Oh, he could put horseshoes on here. There's also, I'd like to try 2 different horseshoe games on here. But we got Tempest on here. So let's launch Tempest. And let's give it a try with the spinner. Okay, and you can see the spinner is working. Credits are going in. Player 1. Yeah, we're novice already. That spinner is going apeshit. We got Tempest, we got spinner action, baby. We might not be good at it, especially with one hand. We got Tempest. So, I feel safe enough. We'll go ahead and do a joystick game, but I feel safe enough to say that we can screw this down and we'll be good to go. Of course, we have my favorite Popeye. He's a sailor. Okay, let's do the 4-way gate button. It's blue. And if we hit that, it's red. It must be 8-way. Okay, so blue is 4-way. Put our credit in, and we're strong to the finish. We eat our spinach. I'm still playing with one hand, but a 4-way should make all the difference in the world on a Donkey Kong, on a Popeye, Burger Time, getting up and down stairs or ladders. I can't punch behind me whenever I'm playing one-handed. I'm just going to tighten this down and I'll do a wrap up. I had planned on hooking this up to OBS and doing some on-screen capture for you, but I really don't have the time. We'll do that in another video. I accomplished what I wanted to do here, I think. And again, thanks to Glenn, many thanks to the iiRcade community, and thank you very much to my good friend Off Grid Arcade for sending me the ROM so I wasn't searching for them all night long, and for also for his install video, right, that he did a week and a half ago to show us all just how to do this. And again, Glenn has his own video out on that, and just really cool. If you have an iiRcade, I hope you got in on this, because yeah, you need this board, right? You gotta have it. Now you can play whatever games you want on your iiRcade, pretty much. And one more thing to say is, I mean, he added these USB. You can add send and light guns to this thing, or whatever USB. He's added these. These are for future mounts, possibly for a Star Wars flight yoke, maybe, for a steering wheel. And there's one off to the side here, so maybe a shifter for racing games, or 2 off to the side here. I'm sorry. Future mounts. So USB, yeah, send in light guns, or light guns of some sort in there. How can you go wrong? How can you go wrong? I don't know. But now that we have it on 4-way, we can see that's blue. Maybe we won't get stuck so much whenever we're climbing ladders. I won't have an excuse to suck so much anymore. But I think even one-handed, maybe I'm seeing a difference in climbing these ladders already. It's just that I'm playing one-handed. All right, we'll get to a wrap-up here for you. Okay, so that was it. That wasn't painful at all. That was fairly easy. And I even had to take a break. That was between a couple days because I started building it late the one day. And then it was dinner time. And then we were doing our show, the show on Sunday night, directly after dinner. And then I had to put up the Christmas tree. And then I went to bed. So I picked it up the very next day. But that is the GRS, Glenn's Retro Show Ultimate Control Panel. He makes great stuff. Go check it out. thunderjoystick.com. And I don't know if he has any for sale yet again or not. If you missed out on it, I don't know if he will. You'll have to check with him on that. But great quality stuff. I love it so much. I also ordered the SNK stick from him that I will be building here soon. This has a USB end on it. I'll have to wire this all up. Rotating stick for Akari Warriors. And just quality stuff there. He also makes the little mini arcade cabinets and the Star Wars yoke and the Tron sticks and stuff like that. And like I say in the video, he has a place where eventually you might be able to mount something else on there, maybe a steering wheel or a flight yoke or something on there. The USB's on the front where maybe you could put sending light guns or something like that. The trackball lights up, or it doesn't if you don't want it to. And I did mention in there the 4-way and 8-way gate, the split button stays lit all the time because the cabinet never really does turn all the way off. And also the trackball stays lit all the time unless you flip those little switches so that it's off all the time. And some people that complain a little bit about that. And one thing you can do is, I have mine, I just have a little power strip right next to the iiRcade that everything's plugged into, so I can just toggle that off. Another thing you can do is I have Alexas, the dots or whatever all through the house, and I have some of these, and these are the little Amazon smart plugs, and you can just say, Alexa, turn off the iiRcade, or however you have this programmed into your system, and turns off your iiRcade. That way you don't have the trackball and the gate switches glowing all night long. So if you don't like that, that's what you do. You turn it off. I think this thing for the price is great. A lot of people thought it was the end of the world with this bankruptcy. I think that I stepped into this. For me, this is just right. I can add any game that I want. When he comes out with this Viper board that's going to attach to his deck, the sky's the limit. But with this side loading, I've already loaded pretty much all the arcade games that I love. I'm not huge into fighters, so I was back when they were popular, not so much anymore. And the bats come with it too. So you can put the bat joysticks in there if that's what you like. I like the ball top. But yeah, I've side-loaded a ton of games. Again, thank you to Off Grid for sending me the trackball and spinner games instead of me having to go search them down. And he kind of just, the ones that he grabbed, he sent to me quickly so that I could just load them on there instead of searching for them for half a day. So now I have the main ones that I wanted real quick there: Crystal Castles and Centipede and Millipede and Missile Command and whatnot. Marble Madness, love it. Tempest. But anyway, just a wonderful deck. Really improves the machine 100%. Everything I want is right there. I don't need more than 2 joysticks because it's me and sometimes me and my son playing, so I don't need Gauntlet and X-Men and Ninja Turtles and Simpson style. I'm not going to have 4 people there playing the thing. I got a trackball, I got 2 spinners, got the joysticks and the buttons for 2 people. I'm good to go. So this is more than I could have ever hoped for in my little game room. It fits in there perfect with all of the consoles that I have in my collection. Thumbs up. I think that I fell into the iiRcade at the perfect time, even though the bankruptcy was right there 5 seconds after I bought the thing. I got the cabinet for cheap. I got the custom arcade mystery encoder board for cheap. And I got the Glenn's Ultimate Arcade Panel for cheap. All in my opinion. And now I can play pretty much anything I want. All I got to do is put the expensive Sindon light guns in there. Maybe not so cheap. But that's not a necessity right now. I'll get to that if and when I feel like it. So Thank you for watching. I do have a lot of stuff that needs to be on here soon. I'll get the Popeye. We need to move on and get the Popeye series going. Finally, after our mail delays, or FedEx delays, we did eventually get my iiRcade delayed, my Game Station Pro, but it did come about 2 weeks ago. I didn't have time to get to it. My head problems and the problems I'm having were really bad, and I had a lot of work to do at work, my long shifts. Finally had my days off for Thanksgiving, but had family stuff to do, so I didn't get to that. And then my 2600 Plus was supposed to come on Good Friday. Was supposed to come on Black Friday, day after Thanksgiving, and it didn't. And it was delayed, and it did come today. So it is here. My 2600 Plus is here. My Berserk Enhanced is here. My paddle, super duper paddle bundle is here. But I go back to work starting first thing, bright and early in the morning. And so that means, what does that mean? Maybe I'll get to this weekend. Everybody and their brother has already reviewed this thing. So, and the same with this thing. All of the Ataris have already been talked about. So you'll see my take on these things as soon as I can. But I'm looking forward to it. I do love me some of old Atari, and I love me some new Atari. Even if their pre-order stuff has been kind of messed up lately. And even the FedEx shipping has been kind of boning me lately. Thank you guys for joining me, Mr. Poestyle, for another great Mr. Poestyle video. I appreciate your patience, and thank you for sticking with me. I'm going to try to get videos out more often, if I can, like I used to. It's just that it's been really tough, and the health issues have been getting worse, not better. They still haven't been able to figure them out. And work is still 10 hours of work each day. Hour drive there, an hour drive back. We're putting 12 hours into that. So usually when I come home, it's nappy time, you know. But we're trying. I'm trying. Stick in there. Hopefully we'll get her done. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Oh, Nacho. Come here, Nacho. No biting. No bite. Ooh, no biting. Oh, Nacho, stop.